Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you're really serious about trading, you want to support the channel and get these types of trade idea like this one that we took just on 1/28 2026, just a couple days ago. And you can see SMH puts went through the roof right here on Friday's session. So if you want to get these types of trade ideas, definitely head over to Patreon and check out their link down in the description. And now let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back. We got a lot of earnings coming out this week, starting with Monday morning. We have Disney, then we have after closing Palantir, then we have more earnings. Tuesday morning, PayPal, PepsiCo, Pfizer, AMD, SMCI, AAA. Then we have even more bigger earnings on Wednesday, Google, ARM, QCOM. Then we also have earnings coming out from Amazon right after closing on Thursday. So if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that. Now, we do have ISM also on Monday, but I think the key point here, ISM PMI services, that's another one. But these are the things that I'm watching. Initial jobless claims, and then we have non-farm payroll on Friday, and the key data that everybody is looking at, unemployment rate, that's coming out Friday. Fear and greed index. Right now, market's still sitting close to all-time highs. And look at what's happening here. 58 greed. And look at right here. Bitcoin dips below 78K as market digests silver sell-off Trump's Fed chair pick. And this guy, the new Fed chair, definitely market does not like, and he's not a good pick. What he did back in 2008 wasn't really helping, he's pretty, I would say bad pick for the Fed chair, and I don't think he's gonna do anything really good. Now, when you look at this metals, I mean, look at this. Silver plunges 30%, worst day since 1980. And this was coming. I even talked about it within my Patreon group that, just because things are going up and people are getting bullish, I was expecting this. So I'm no surprise to me here that 30% drop. There could be even more drop here on, these precious metals. But look at right now, what the heck is happening right now? Look at this dump on Bitcoin down it was down, I think, 8%, slightly up like a couple of hundreds. Look at Ethereum here, guys, down nearly 12% and still going. There is no signs of any buyers stepping in anything that is related to cryptos. And look at XRP here, down 9%. So it's getting a big hit right now. And even weekend Wall Street, I think right now, Nasdaq is down close to 1%. So lots of things happening. Let's see what market did last week on Friday. We got Dow going down 0.36%, Nasdaq down 0.94%, S&P down 0.43%, and Russell down 1.41%, advancing 34%, declining 62%. 11 sectors. We got consumer defensive led the way on top, healthcare, and then energy. Everything else was actually in deep red, and basic materials and technology took a big hit. Week to date performance also energy led the way, and then communication services. We had really good earnings from Meta, and also I think Google was running the entire week. Stock market map, you can see a different story here. Consumer defensive all lighting up in the green. Tesla was up with that merger news with SpaceX. Well, pretty much the same thing. It's all Elon's company. Meta down nearly 3%, Amazon down 1, Google flat, Apple pretty much flat here, I would say. Microsoft down nearly 1%, and Nvidia going up and then giving back gains. But some of the names that actually needs to come down, and it actually did, that was AMD, AMU, and Intel. These were down pretty big on Friday's session, and you can see some of these, computer hardware names also took a big hit. WDC, STX, they were all going down. And who knows? I mean, these things are up massively, guys. Especially this stock, AMU, and what's the other one? SanDisk. I mean, these things are up a huge amount. So come Monday morning, if you see $100 drop, that's nothing, still nothing, absolutely nothing. So people that are extremely bullish on these things right now, I see a lot of comments and a lot of bullishness around these names, just like silver. If you're chasing these, you're gonna get a big bag, and that's why these names, you should just avoid, unless you're shorting with some, I guess, time, then it's okay, and you know how to manage your risk. Otherwise, especially buying to the upside, absolutely pathetic, and there is no new money long here on AMU, unless you're that director who actually bought at 337. But I think even that guy made a ton of money already, and that's why this thing was actually going up. Energy was also up, and that's inflationary. So if energy is staying up, guess what? Inflation will stay up, and that's not good for the rate cuts and for the new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh. On Apple stock, it was up 0.46%. So Apple was actually down to 252, and then Apple recovered, and when and that was a $10 swing back up to almost 262. And I think it's around that 261 range where the Kramer comment came out. He actually tweeted on X, and that was the end. Immediately, Apple stock dropped $3 and pretty much just up, not even half a percent. And you can see we barely got over 259 and holding there. So, what is next? Well, I think Apple, especially when Kramer is going after it and talking about how dip buyers are coming in, and this is actually a good dip. If this thing does not hold 259 come Monday morning, you could see a further drop, and I mean down to 255 to even 250 to close the gap. And as of right now, the way risk on assets are selling off, like cryptos, I don't see, how the market will stay up unless we see some sort of a big recovery and some, crazy things come, tomorrow night or even tomorrow, because the day just started and cryptos are selling off since last night up until now, just making lower lows, and that's not good for the stock market, and especially for the big names coming off all-time highs like Apple here. So watch out for this 255 to 250 zone. Key support underneath that, it would come back down to 245, 241.78, and then 237. There is a gap at 234. And I think the daily 200 SMA is right about here. I don't have it here on my screen, but we can definitely come down here if that's the case. To the upside, 259 holds. The next stop definitely right about here, 262. Looks like we're finding some resistance there. If we can clear that, then watch out for 265 to even 270 on Apple. On AMD, it's down 6%. So AMD, I mean, you can call this a double or triple top, pretty much similar looks, just like Microsoft. When we get to Microsoft, you'll see there was this big run and then it faded. When we came back up, big run, and it faded pretty much at that same price. Well, AMD pretty much did the same thing. Does that mean AMD coming down here? It can. We have earnings coming out this week on AMD, and so far just barely holding at 235. Underneath that, watch out for the retest of the 20-day 231.45 down to even 226, and there is a gap at 224. To the upside, resistance will be at 241, 249, and if we can get above this blue line, watch out for continuation to the upside, possibly back up to all-time highs. On Amazon, stock is down 1%. So Amazon was holding up pretty strong, I would say, here on Friday. I mean, just down 1% compared to other names, especially tech stocks. But we do have support right here at the 20-day moving average, 239, and that is what we're holding into closing. Underneath that, 236, then 232 down to 228, 224. To the upside, 242 bricks, which we did not get that confirmation on Friday. Then watch out for more continuation up to even 250 on Amazon. On Google, stock is absolutely flat on the day, and we also have earnings coming out. Now, I see a lot of people are still requesting an update on AMU, SNDK, and I'll probably even add SMH in there and give you guys an update maybe later today, if not tomorrow morning, because we actually made a killing shorting SMH and also shorting SNDK on Friday and MU. MU definitely was really good, and SNDK, not to mention, gave back all the gains. And we caught that thing at the top. So I'll make an update And just don't forget to hit that like button, guys, because I'm not doing this for YouTube videos. And when I see you guys are watching but not really subscribing and not hitting the like button, that really hurts because all these videos are coming out, wasting all my time. It's not easy. You think that, oh, this guy just goes on YouTube and comes out with a video. So many times you record, there is no sound. So many times there is some, mic issues or something here and there where you got to go back and make it again. And end of the day, I mean, you're not getting paid. You just do this so you can get the information out. You can get the knowledge that you have out there to the people who can actually benefit from these, videos. And when I see like Wes Colorado, that's the name that he goes by. Huge shout out to the man. He was on my Patreon before, and he came back in. He went out for a little bit. I guess some people need some, time off. He said he made money off of this YouTube video and came back. He thought it was a good time to just repay where he got paid watching my videos. So that's why these videos are coming out, because I know somewhere down the line, not everybody, but somebody is really serious. They're actually taking these videos seriously. They're watching and possibly trying to make some money. And that's the whole point of making videos, not where I can get paid out of YouTube. The only thing that actually gets me paid or some sort of a form where I get something, that's you join Patreon and you're serious and you're trading with me, taking my trades, selling when I'm selling, buying when I'm buying. Those are real people and those are real supporters, and that's why these videos are still coming out of my channel. Otherwise, I'm a retired person. I don't work for anybody, and I can just live my life off the stock market. I don't need to come out here and make videos for anybody. So Google here with earnings, guys. Watch out. I mean, there is not much to it. To the upside, that 342 breaks, we might go and make new all-time highs, trading into blue skies. But considering how much this thing ran, if the earnings are not good, we could see a significant drop. Come Monday morning, if it opens below 336, then you see 328. Underneath that, 318, and then 314. On Meta, it's down 3%. So Meta gap fill reversal from the top, and it was coming. And I was actually looking to short Meta on Thursday. I had so much on my plate that I forgot about it. And I even tagged one of my Patreon member to remind me to go into short at 742. And this was perfect moment of, if you're like going short, this was perfect. We were trading way outside the Bollinger Band and then came back in. So Meta here, if you look at my screen, there is nothing really here. About $711. There is some support, but underneath that, that opens the door to 682. Well, first of all, the blue line 694, the 5-day, which is moving up, and then down here at 682 and the gap below 677. On Microsoft is down again 0.74%. So this is what I was talking about, that we had this similar look, just like we're seeing on AMD. We had a big move to the downside, consolidation, and big move back up to the upside and rejected. And now we're breaking down. So I think in near short term, we could see this gap getting filled right here, just under 400. And this is why I'm waiting. And I actually like this. I know a lot of people would say, oh, this is crashing, it's going down to hell. I don't want any part of Microsoft. But I think, guys, even right here to all the way down to 400 or underneath 400, the lower this thing goes, the more money you will make. Now, people who are long, holders of Microsoft, they believe in this company, like myself or even Apple when it comes down. You see stocks going up. I'm not going to recommend and not even going to say this is a good point of buying. But when big name like Microsoft, I mean, look at how much this thing is down from all-time highs, 555, and now down to 426, even lower, almost 420 on Thursday after earnings. So I think this is nothing but a big opportunity. We do have support at 425. Underneath that, we're just gonna fall into this gap, and I think it's gonna get filled with the crypto selling off, everything selling off, silver, gold. Stock market is next. So if the stock market gets a rug pull, next week we get some, gap down next week, maybe come Monday, we could see Microsoft falling into that gap and filling that earnings gap, which is gonna be awesome, awesome dip. To the upside, looks like it's holding that 429 into closing. If we can stay over that, we might go back up to especially this high 438. And over that, we can talk about possibly going back up to fill some of those gaps to the upside, which we have from earnings. On Nvidia, stock is down 0.72%. So Nvidia was the only thing that actually was standing out on Friday's session, or even before that, we had that massive drawdown and then immediately recovered. At bar to bar, we actually made a higher high from these lows down here. So Nvidia, they have earnings coming out end of the month. So far, holding right here, right about 190. That's a key support. Underneath that, 186, and then 184 all the way down to 180, and there is a gap below as well, 176. But Nvidia goes up and clears 193 and gets over 196. It's gone. You're gonna see 200 plus and maybe even 205 to close this gap on top when the earnings come out. So Broadcom was pretty flat on the day, and if you look at my screen, we closed at the support again, that 330 right here. So underneath that 330, we could see a flush down to 324, and we already went lower under 324. If that's the case, we could be pulling into that key support 316. Underneath that, this gap comes into play, which is right here, right about 307. To the upside, 330 holds. We need to get above. Um, 336, and then we can talk about possibly more upside, because now that it actually breaking down from this bear flag, we need to go back in if this is going to make a move back up to the upside. So Netflix was slightly up on Friday, but again, nothing really changed on Netflix. Still on a strong downtrend, and looks like this is the low that I'm looking at, right around $82. And if that gives up, we could be going lower. Like I said, the next stop would be right about here, and that's pretty far down, around 77, $78. And I don't think anybody likes to see that, even though there is a gap also down here on Netflix. To the upside, only time if this thing can get going and gets over 85.5, that would look more bullish. So let's see if this week can actually we get some sort of a move where this thing bounces, because there is no signs of any reversal yet. When you see these types of things, like in this case right about here, you can see this was a reversal, and then we had a massive bullish bar, green candle, and from there this thing just took off. Do you see that here? Absolutely not. So we need to see a lot of volume and a big green candle, or maybe it actually sells off pretty aggressively, and then it puts in a hammer candle, something like that. Then this thing will find a bottom. But as of right now, just a slow grind down here on Netflix, and no signs of any reversal yet. I think we have to wait. But again, just like Microsoft going down, this is also a great opportunity if we're thinking outside the box. On Tesla stock, it's up 3.32%. So Elon is one of the smartest guy out there, and he knows how to become, even richer, and how to connect, and how to get more money into his own companies. So why SpaceX would not IPO itself? Why you got to merge with Tesla? Because soon as the merger happens, if that's, I don't even know if that's going to take place. Those were just rumors. I don't know. Again, if you know more information, comment below. So you can see the market cap is 1.43. Imagine adding another 1.5. Automatically gets to around $3 trillion market cap. And with the news and everything margin, let's say you're buying into buying, it's gonna go past Nvidia's market cap and possibly going over 5G. So Elon's gonna be even more rich. People talking about the first ever trillionaire. I think he could be going far as $3 trillion worth net worth. So Elon Musk, that's what he's trying to do here, because he doesn't want another IPO. It's more costly than possibly even just going and merge with Tesla. So, if you see SpaceX adding, and both companies are merging together, which is run by pretty much Elon Musk himself, well, the value is going to go up. People are going to invest even more, because now you're not only investing in Tesla, you're investing in SpaceX. So, with that being said, I mean, he's playing a really clever game here. And I hope that's not the case. It gets its own IPO, and it's a different ticker, and everything is different than merging with Tesla. I don't know how that's going to go, but the stock had a good reaction. You can see, but some of the gains were gone, even though it actually had positive reaction. Still, I think Tesla, without that news, it would be trading Friday possibly into these lower zone. So going into Monday, we did not hold 432. We did not get over 50-day and 20-day, and the 20-day just crossed below 50 days. So that is not a bull trend on Tesla. And remember, in my last video, I was showing you guys 800 price target. Well, we're pretty much $400 off from that. So we're not going there yet. Tesla here, 432 breaks. Watch out for 443.58. And then, only then, we can talk about upside. To the downside, it's not even over 432. So the next key support would be lower band and pretty much right down here, 416, 417 area. And underneath that, you could see Tesla pretty much going down, down to these lows down here, and that's going to be around that 382 to even the gap below 368 on Tesla. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. And I'll definitely try to do a video on SMH, MU, and SNDK later on, if not early as tomorrow morning.